Hi there, it's Sandy Casella here. And have you ever wondered what a home inspector is looking for when they do a home inspection on a property? If you're thinking of selling your house, you may want to know what those things are. And I'm going to go over that with you now so you can understand what home inspectors are looking for. So realistically, when a buyer buys your house and they do a home inspection, and in most cases they do, there isn't a pass or a fail when the home inspector comes in. They're basically just doing an inspection of the property, and they will point out things that are potential problems for a buyer, and that's what the buyer is looking for. Because realistically, a buyer doesn't know your home, they haven't lived in it, so they want to make sure that things like the roof isn't going to end up leaking when they move in, or the wiring's safe. These are the kind of things that they're looking for. So I want to go over all of these things with you. So there are industry experts say there's about 33 physical problems that come under scrutiny when a home inspector goes in and takes a look at your house. And I'm going to go over some of those with you. I want to go over about 11 of them today. So if you think that this is helpful for you, please share this. Somebody else might find this interesting as well. If you know anybody who's thinking of buying or selling their house, you can share this video with them as well. And I do have a free special report that I will offer to you at the end. So basically, the first thing that the home inspector is looking for is plumbing, defective plumbing. So is your plumbing working properly? Do you have things like high-tech plumbing? Do you have things that are going to potentially create a problem in the future? We want to make sure that everything is sound. Insurance is going to ask about this as well, so we have to make sure that the plumbing is sound. The second thing is basically, is your basement damp? Is it wet? Are there potential problems with cracks in the basement or foundation settling that's going to cause a problem in the future? So they're going to check. They're going to check the walls. If the basement is finished, typically they will have a monitor that they use that tells them if there's any potential water problems in the basement. So they use this when the basement is finished. If the basement is not finished, it's fairly easy to see things like that. So I would highly recommend that in your basement, if your basement is unfinished, pull things away from the wall. If you have things stacked up your basement obviously is going to have things in it, but if you have things stacked up against one wall, sometimes people will think that that's a clue that you've got some issues with the basement that you're trying to hide. So make sure that the inspector can get to where they need to get to so they can see everything that they need to see there as well. Wiring and electrical would be number 3. So these are a really big thing. They want to make sure that you have at least 100 amp service, and this should be clearly marked. They're also looking for, though, do you have copper wiring or do you have aluminum wiring? So there are a lot of houses that were built in the 70s that have aluminum wiring, so it's not a big deal. You just got to make sure that everything is hooked up correctly and that we haven't mixed any copper and aluminum there. So that's what they're going to be looking for. So if you have aluminum wiring, it's not a big deal. Just got to make sure that everything has been inspected properly, and then you won't have any problems. The next one would be the heating and the cooling system. So is your furnace, if you have a furnace, some people have electric heat, some people have oil heat, depending on when that property was built. So is your heating system adequate for the house, and what's the lifespan of it? So, a lot of times we see furnaces in a property that are 18, 20 years old and they're working properly, but they're basically at the end of their expected lifespan. So they may last another 5 years, it may last 2 years, whatever. We don't know, but the home inspector is looking to see that it's been properly maintained, that it's clean inside, there's no leaks, there's no, nothing damaged inside of there as well. Roofing problems would be the next one. So is your roof, how old is the roof, and is the roof in good condition? Have there been windstorms that have taken off some of the shingles? What type of shingles are they? What's the expected lifespan of the roof? The next obvious one would be your attic space. So not only are they looking for damp basements, they're also looking for issues in your attic. So is there mold in the attic? Is there dampness? Is there signs that there's animals in the attic? Things like that they're looking for to make sure that there's adequate insulation in there and that there's no damage in there. The roof shingles are clean, there's no mold. Those are the types of things that they'll look for. These will create a problem if these come up in a home inspection. The wood, rotting wood. Now, not a lot of properties, especially if they're older properties, will have a lot of wood trim on the outside, or decks and fences. Is that wood in good condition? Has it been properly maintained? Has it been treated? Is it rotting, and is it going to need to be replaced in the near future? The next one would be your masonry work. So we're basically outside of the house now. So how is the brickwork on the house? Is there any issues with it? Is it an older property? Is there some brickwork that needs to be repointed? Are some of the bricks falling out? Different things like that, especially with chimneys. Those are kind of the things that we're looking for, especially in an older property. So if you're in an older area, those could be an issue. Unsafe or over-fused electrical circuits. So in your, not only with the wiring that we talked about earlier, but in your fuse panel or in your breaker panel, especially if it's fuses, are the right fuses in there? Does that need to be updated? A lot of the fuse panels have been updated now and they're breakers, so are they double tapped? Is it overloaded? Those are the kind of things that they're looking for, making sure that there's no safety issues there that could cause fire issues. Security features as well. So are your windows do they close properly? Do the locks work? Do the cranks work? Things like that are basically important as well. Deadbolts, carbon monoxide detectors. Do you have these things in your property, and are they working properly as well? And then the last one would be structural or foundation problems. Are there cracks in the foundation? Are there any issues that are going to cause a problem for somebody going forward? So regardless of whether you live in a newer home or an older home, these things are still really, really important. It's always good, I think, to have a home inspection and to get an idea of any potential problems that are coming up. So this is what buyers are looking at. So if you're thinking of selling your house, you want to make sure that you know this going in, and this isn't going to cause a problem, because this is where problems come in and deals fall apart. If these things come up at the last minute and a buyer is expecting that the property is in good condition and big expensive items like this come up, that's going to cause a problem for you and possibly kill your deal, and then you're going to have to go back and start at square one. Most people don't want that. So realistically, buyers just want to know that the house is they're getting what they think they're buying, which is really, really important. So a couple of ways that you can get a copy of this report. Those are basically the 11 those are the 11 big ones that you need to watch out for. And if you want to get a copy of this report, I would be happy to send it to you. So there's a number of ways that you can do that. You can call toll-free number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can get this report. I'll show you. So this is basically the report. So 11 things you need to know to pass your home inspection. And if you want to get a free copy of this report, you can call 1-855-598-4017. It's ID number 1003. You don't have to speak to anybody. It's a pre-recorded. It's free. You can call that number, and I'll certainly pass that on to you. You can call me direct at 416-467-8627. You can also go to my website and sandicasella.com /inspection, and you can fill out the form there, and I can send you a copy of this. So like I said, if this information is helpful for you, please share this video, and also like my page, and I'm going to have more of these tips on here for you as well. So hopefully this was very helpful for you, and actually if you go to my website, you'll find a lot of other things there as well, a lot of other reports that you can take advantage of as well. So hope you have a fantastic day, and hopefully this was helpful for you.